Justin Morneau taking over at first base. The Twins hoping to get back in the win column. They've alternated a win and a loss over the last 4 ball games, so that pattern continues. Kevin Slowey will pitch well, and the Twins will win the ball game here tonight. The Menards batting order for the New York Yankees. Brett Gardner leading off. Derek Jeter followed by Curtis Granderson, having a phenomenal year for the Yankees. Then Mark Teixeira, Robinson Cano, Nick Swisher, Eric Chavez, Jorge Posada, and Russell Martin.
And my scouting report on Kevin Slowey making his first start. Remember, his last start got rained out in Cleveland. He did pitch 2 innings in that ball game, and then the game was called. And he has pitched well as a starter, especially last year in 16 starts here at Target Field. He was 8-4 with a 3.63 ERA, making his 5th career start against the Yankees.
While there is a race for the champion in the American League East, the Yankees have the lead. It's presumed that both the Yankees and Red Sox will make the playoff field. So that takes the luster off what would otherwise be a magnificent pennant race. The Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Rene Tassoni, Ben Revere, Trevor Plouffe in the outfield. Valencia, Nishioka, Hughes, Morneau around the infield. Joe Mauer catching tonight. He was in right field last night. And Kevin Slowey hoping to continue a pattern he established last year, which was pitching very well here in his home ballpark.
Well, Kevin Slowey's all about control so far in the year. You know, it's been a frustrating year. He started the season out in the bullpen. Then had some differences with the manager, Ron Gardenhire, Rick Anderson. They were going to option him out. He came up with an injury that put him on a disabled list. Now with Baker on a DL, Kevin Slowey asked to get some innings here, and I think the Twins would be very happy, Dick, if they could get 6, maybe 7 good innings out of Kevin Slowey here tonight against the Yankees.
That's been one of the problems with the Yankee dominance over the Twins, getting those 6, 7 good innings and having a starter leave the game with the lead.
Well, one thing I mentioned last night, you know, Brian Dunsing, I thought he started the ball game off very well, and then he got into a pattern where he got the ball out over the plate, and the Yankees really clobbered him. But this is a Yankee ball club. You got to do that. You got to get ahead early. They're going to foul some pitches off. Slowey's not a strikeout type pitcher. He's a fly ball pitcher, and that's maybe one reason he's pitched well here at Target Field. It's pretty pitcher friendly.
1-2 to Gardner.
And there's strike 2. When he's on, watch Joe Mauer move behind the plate. Slowey, excellent control. Only 1 walk so far in 14 2/3 innings.
Pulled foul just wide of the bag with Gardner spanking it pretty hard.
Yeah, that slider down, you want to get it down a little bit more, and if you can get on top a little bit more, Gardner might swing and miss. But that ball kind of just stayed right in that swing of Gardner. This guy you want to keep off the bases. Twins were able to do that last night. 0 for 4 with a sacrifice fly. Gardner 36 stolen bases.
Slow breaking pitch, foul back.
And you need some quick outs, Dick. You know, this Yankee ball club, they'll foul off some pitches, but you need those 10 to 15 pitch innings so you can go deeper in the ball game.
1-2. There's a foul tip. Mauer hangs on. No, they're saying it hit the dirt. The at bat's still alive. Mauer tried to sell it to home plate umpire Jim Wolf, but perhaps another umpire.
Well, he must have fouled it off.
Right, but I think
it nicks it right here.
Hit the dirt. Yep. So 1-2. A little pop up. Valencia making the catch. He and Nishioka look at each other and exchange some conversation. 1 away. Here's Slowey so far this year with all the official numbers you see there posted out of the bullpen.
Yeah, again, the walks. Throughout his career, excellent to innings to walk ratio. So he'll throw strikes.
1 gone. Here's Derek Jeter. As good as the Yankee hitters are, they're like any other hitters in that they don't like to be behind in the count 0-2. I mean, I'm trying to look at this, the task of pitching against this Yankee lineup. How can you simplify it? We'll get ahead of them strike one and then keep attacking the strike zone.
Yeah, you have to do that. You have to do that against anybody, especially a veteran ball club like the Yankees.
And now 2 strikes to Jeter.
Now you can work the corners. Now you can bust them hard in if you want and waste a pitch inside. You know, don't get them to lean a little bit. Jeter has a tendency to lean and hit that ball to right field. Ron Coomer was talking about the instructional last night. You have to show these Yankees that you will pitch inside, not to hit them, but aggressively inside.
Off-speed pitch popped up right side this time. Luke Hughes with the catch out number 2. Beautiful afternoon, and then about 5 o'clock or so the clouds started rolling in, and the radar that I looked at showed rain a little bit north of here. Hopefully we'll have uninterrupted baseball. 2 down, and here's Curtis Granderson.
Perfect baseball weather.
And a first pitch strike. One and one.
One thing we've seen with Slowey too, he's picked up his tempo. Very good tempo out there. Doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. Good pitch right there. So he missed away, came back inside with a pitcher's pitch.
Two and two.
Such a good ball club, and Granderson has taken advantage of all the guys in front of him by driving in a lot of runs. Now he has 34 home runs, but you got Gardner, you got Jeter, you got a lot of guys in that lineup that get on base.
Full count now to Granderson with Teixeira on deck. And he walked him. So a 2-out walk prolongs the inning with Teixeira coming up and a man aboard.
I tried to change up right there, missed away. We just showed you Granderson's RBIs at 95. Well, if he doesn't get them, this guy gets them. Mark Teixeira, he's got 91 runs driven in.
That's why this Yankee lineup can just wear you down. There aren't any spots in the lineup where you can just take a breath and feel any sense of relief. Okay, I got by that guy because there's somebody else, another all-star waiting in the on-deck circle. 1-0 to Teixeira. And now 2-0. Twins baseball brought to you in Sony high definition. Slowly, a couple of quick outs on pop-ups, got ahead of Granderson, but now having a tough time throwing strikes. Came inside, got a foul ball, 2-1.
Got Teixeira, switch hitter, hitting only .227 as a left-handed hitter, but 22 of his 33 home runs have come from the left side of the plate. Beautiful evening here in downtown Minneapolis. Yankees like the run, 120 stolen bases on the year. Granderson with 22 in 32 attempts.
2-1. 2-2. I was talking with bullpen coach Rick Stelmazik today. All those years we were indoors and we were hoping for an outdoor ballpark. I imagine days like this. Just a beautiful day, low humidity, perfect, as you said, perfect baseball weather. And hopefully a good game tonight. 2-2. Pitch up, fouled straight back.
Not a bad pitch right there, kind of tied up Teixeira a little bit, but he's able to foul it off.
And here's Slowey, the best the Twins have in terms of throwing strikes, and now he's thrown 20 pitches in this first inning. DJ Rayburn, the first base umpire, calling safe. 2-2 to Teixeira. Granderson goes, and the pitch popped up, and it's back over the Yankee dugout.
Slowly, a lot like Scott Baker. They're more fly ball pitchers.
Another 2-2 pitch. Bounce to first, foul. Yankees won last night 8-4, hitting 3 home runs in the process. One of them hit by Teixeira. Sabathia got the win.
The 17th of the year.
Anderson goes again. Mauer's throw. And Nishioka with a one-hop scoop. It's a stolen base and now a full count to Teixeira.
Anderson does get in the scoring position, steals his 23rd base of the year. Oh, the throw a little low. Watch Nishioka right here. Able to pick it.
That's to left, and it's hanging in the air for Tassoni, and that ends the inning. Well, Slowey had to throw 24 pitches, but he got through the inning without a hit or a run. Walk and a long top of the first inning, but a scoreless one. Here's the Menard batting order for the Twins. Ben Revere leading off. Trevor Plouffe, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau with a couple of hits, a couple of home runs against Phil Hughes. Jason Kubel, Danny Valencia, Rene Tassoni, Luke Hughes, and Tsuyoshi Nishioka.
And my scouting report on Phil Hughes making his 10th start of the year. He spent almost 3 months on a disabled list with a bad shoulder. He actually got a shot in that shoulder, and it's been a slow rehab for him. But he's pitched very well as of late as that shoulder starting to get a little bit stronger. Just making his 2nd career start against the Twins. And the other start coming back in 2009, in May of 2009.
Hughes started and won Game 3 of the playoffs last year. The Yankees gave him an early cushion. And the Twins ended up being swept by the Yankees.
Yes, he always do mine on regular season,
right,
not the postseason
right,
stuff.
1-1 to Revere. Check swing and strike 2. Hughes in the spring had a mysterious lack of velocity. They couldn't figure out what the problem was, and then they found the shoulder wasn't as strong as it should be. Tap foul, still 1-2.
Well, they said when he first came up, you know, from his minor league rehab, he threw nothing but fastballs and curveballs, and the curveball was kind of flat, where now his arm's starting to build up a little bit. He's got the curveball, good tight rotation. He's added a little cut fastball and the changeup. So he came up really trying to just build that arm up, and he says he feels pretty good now.
Backhanded by Cano.
Wow.
Great play, getting a speedy runner, one away.
What a great play right there by Cano, because of the way that he got that ball, and then the short throw was something on it. Hey, look, you know, Revere's hustling. Watch right there. Look how quick he gets rid of that ball with something on it, right to Teixeira. Won his first Rawling Gold Glove last year. He'll probably win another one. Wow.
Here's Trevor Plouffe. And there's strike one. They say going to his right. He is clearly the best second baseman in baseball. And he made a fine play going to his right. This one hit a long way to left field. And the Twins get the first run of the game on a Trevor Plouffe home run.
All right, jumped on that fastball, puts the Twins up 1-0. Seventh home run allowed by Luke Hughes, again making his 10th start. Excuse me, Phil Hughes. High fastball. And Plouffe hitting his 6th home run of the year.
It was up around the letters. And so the Twins have a 1-0 lead. Here's Joe Mauer. Strike on the outside corner. Pop up. Cano backpedaling. Up number 2. Yankees out on the field. Fleet-footed Brett Gardner in left. Granderson covers a lot of ground in center. Veteran Nick Swisher in right. Veteran Eric Chavez at third. Jeter, Cano up the middle. Teixeira is first. And Russell Martin behind the plate. 2 gone, and here's Justin Morneau. Plouffe's home run, giving the Twins the early lead. Off-speed pitch, clips the corner.
Only 3 Twin batters in the Twins lineup have faced Phil Hughes before in the regular season. Jason Kubel, Joe Mauer, and Justin Morneau. Justin 2 for 3 lifetime against Hughes.
And we showed you the 2 hits have been home runs, and now Hughes gets ahead of him 0-2. Little tapper. Hughes has time and makes the play. Trevor Plouffe's home run to left field, putting the Twins up 1-0. brought to you by Pentair. Trevor Plouffe with a home run to left, and the Twins have a quick and short lead. We'll see how long it lasts. Last night the Twins had a 2-1 lead, and it didn't make or survive the next half inning.
Well, that's what they need, Dick, is just the pitchers just to keep attacking the strike zone. Even though Kevin Slowey threw 25 pitches, able to put a 0 on the board.
Cano, Swisher, and Chavez to face Slowey here in the second inning. Foul back, strike one. In terms of a division race, it looks like the Twins are going to sit this one out, but there's a great series this weekend in Detroit, Cleveland and Detroit, and it's scoreless, 6th inning. There's a drive to right center field, and Revere makes the catch.
That ball almost looked like it knuckled a little bit right there. Came back to Revere.
Very often a left-handed hitter like that, the ball will hook, and that thing almost sliced back to center field.
A nice easy swing by Cano, and you can almost see that ball going back. So a line drive out here for the first out in the second. Nice concentration, nice running catch by Ben Revere.
And a quick first out. Nick Swisher will hit. The designated hitter last night hit a home run. Now he's in right field. And here in the second inning, the Yankees going after Slowey early.
Well, they know that Slowey's going to be around the plate, and this can be to Slowey's advantage if he makes good quality pitches, say 2 or 3 inches off the plate. If they're going to come out swinging, make it a pitch, you know, that like that's a good pitch right there, even though it's called a ball. Jim Wolf behind the plate. Keep hitting that spot like that.
Line to left, and the base hit.
Left that ball up.
A 1-out single. And the Yankees doing very well with Eric Chavez coming to the plate without their all-star third baseman Alex Rodriguez. Our Sanford Health injury update. He's expected back perhaps as soon as tomorrow. Went through the drills today under the watchful eye of Mick Kelleher. Here's Chavez. So many levels, the Yankees signing someone like Chavez, just a brilliant move. He's not physically able to be an everyday player anymore, but what a great backup to have. A former Gold Glove winner, former All-Star, has transitioned from third base across the way to first a little bit.
Yeah, he signed as a free agent over the winter. Early May, he ended up breaking his left foot and then activated in the latter part of July. So he missed some time. He's always had pretty good power. 13 seasons with the Oakland A's.
There was a time when the talk in the Bay Area was the 2 great left-handed sluggers that played for the 2 teams. Barry Bonds for the Giants and Chavez for the A's. Chavez's career derailed because of injuries, back problems specifically. But Chavez was lighting it up in the Bay Area on the Oakland side almost as much as Bonds was early on in San Francisco.
Well, he still got some pop in that bat. Chavez 33 years old, so you know his career is not done. 231 career home runs for Eric Chavez.
1-2, Slowey to Chavez. Foul tip, Mauer can't quite hang on. Gardenhire watching his first second inning of this series. Last night, by this time, he's already in the manager's office. Two and two to the Yankee third baseman. Pop up into short center field. Nishioka out, Revere calling for it. Out number 2.
Good little change up there. Chavez popped it up.
Becoming Wild, presented by Toyota, gives fans an inside look into what the Minnesota Wild hockey operations department is doing to build a stronger team. Tonight's episode follows the Wild's draft choices and prospects through development camp. Watch Becoming Wild tonight after the Twins postgame show, only on Fox Sports North. Here's Jorge Posada.
Posada just turning 40 years old a couple days ago. Actually, yesterday was his birthday, or 2 days ago. And a Yankee since 1995.
Where in other years he might have 400 or more at bats, become a part-time player now, 291 at bats, and he takes a strike, 1-1.
He's always been a good hitter from both sides of the plate. This year struggling a little bit more from the right side, but as a left-handed hitter, hitting .272. All 10 home runs have come from the left side of the plate.
Fouled away, 1-2.
We have Andrew Jones, who played last night against Brian Dunsing, and Jorge Posada getting the night off. Posada, 5-time American League All-Star.
There's Jones. Arms on the railing, showing off his ink. Blocked nicely by Mauer, and it's 2-2.
You got to get some ink.
What makes you think I don't?
Well, I don't know. Do you?
I might just have a lot of ink. I just haven't shown it to you.
Okay. Well, I don't really want to see it. I just wondered if you had any. I don't have any tattoos. So maybe you do.
Pulled foul.
You're not saying that you don't have any.
I'm not saying I don't have any. Actually, I don't have any tattoos. I have too low of a pain threshold.
Now, if you were to have a tattoo,
right,
where would you have it?
It'd be your initials.
I hope not.
I'd have your initials, and
I know where they be.
Thank heavens he put the ball in play.
Nice
A
catch.
liner to right. Trevor Plouffe catches it, and luckily for all of us, it's the third out. Minnesota Twins baseball is brought to you by Explore Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com to plan your next Minnesota vacation today. And of course, the historic Landmark Center at Rice Park in downtown St. Paul, overlooking Rice Park and its beautiful fountain, next to the Ordway Center and the St. Paul Hotel. Here's Jason Kubel leading off the second inning. Jason getting a night off last night, a family situation. He stayed in the Twin Cities, just didn't come to the ballpark. And all that needs to be known. He says everything is okay now. So we're happy for that. 1-1. Kubel, Valencia, and Tassoni will face Phil Hughes here in the Twins' second. Fouled away. 1-2.
Well, Kubel, one of the Twin batters, always had good success against the Yankees. A career .293 hitter against the Yankees. Driven in some big runs.
One and two. And now 2-2. Last 2 years in the playoffs, it's been frustrating. Kubel kind of symbolizes the Twins' frustration against New York. 1 hit, 22 at bats the last 2 playoff rounds against New York.
He's been struggling a little bit as of late. Maybe the day off yesterday will get him back focused. 0 for his last 10 at bats.
2-2. And missing inside, ball 3. Ron Gardenhire said of Phil Hughes, key for the Twins batters not to expand the strike zone. Make sure he gets the ball up and into the strike zone. That's down the left field line, twisting foul. That was one of the frustrating things watching the playoff game last year for Hughes against the Twins. The Twins chased so many pitches as if they were pressing, trying to make up for the 2-game deficit in 1 game. They never really gave Hughes a chance to get himself in trouble. There's ball 4. A nice patient plate appearance for Jason Kubel, and he ends up at first.
Well, opponents coming into the ball game hitting .311. Left-handers hitting .345. And that 2-seam fastball just missing. Martin framing it a little bit. Right-handers hitting .257.
Danny Valencia will hit. Breaking pitch. It hits the corner. Hughes typically has a lot more difficulty against left-handed batters, yet it's the right-handed batter, the only one he's faced, Trevor Plouffe, that's responsible for the Twins' run. We'll see what Valencia can do to change the score. Just off the plate, 1-1.
Hughes just 25 years old, already in his 5th season with the Yankees. Made the All-Star team, representing the Yankees last year.
One and one to the Twins' third baseman. Lifted to right, harmlessly in the direction of Swisher. 1 down. Rene Tassoni to the plate. The Twins have a 4-game series beginning Monday against the Orioles. First pitch at 7:10, and the Monday game is a Schweigert $1 a dog Monday. The first 20,000 Schweigert dogs will be sold for $1 a piece. You can call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com and check on ticket availability. Here's Tassoni. Had a big ball game the other night in Detroit, and an 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts last night. Cano catches the line drive and doubles off the runner Kubel. So a sinking line drive, Kubel's doubled off, and Hughes faces just 3 men in the inning.
Yankees here at Target Field thanks to a Trevor Plouffe home run. I'm Robbie Smikowski, joined by the corporate communications manager of the Twins, Chris Isles, one of the men overseeing this whole social media night and deck extravaganza. Chris, how's it going so far?
It's going very well. We've got the top of the top tweeters from the Twin Cities here, and we're having a good time.
Now, you're one of the few teams in baseball to do this consistently. Why?
Well, we do in-stadium tweets consistently because it's a very cool way for fans to interact with the game. They get the same reaction as seeing their picture on the video board as seeing their tweets on our tweet board.
And what about the departments? Is Dick Kramer, go ahead.
Fly to deep left. Yep. And a game-tying home run for Russell Martin. It's one apiece. Go ahead, Robbie. Well, maybe not. Russell Martin hitting his 14th home run of the year. Teeing off on the first pitch from Kevin Slowey.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking ball that just stayed up right there, and Martin jumped all over it, right down that left field line.
Tassoni reacted like he had a chance maybe of pulling it back.
Yeah, I see the breaking ball left in, and Martin with that uppercut swing right there. 339 down that left field line. And the ball had some hang time, but just into that first row.
And now ball one to Brett Gardner, who ended up popping up to Valencia to start the ball game. Fly ball to center. Easy play for Revere. One down. Now let's go back to Robbie and Smikowski.
Well, Chris, do you feel bad as soon as you do an interview they hit a home run?
I feel like I'm bad luck somehow, but we'll come back.
Well, it's more than that. But back to the issue at hand. Talking about social media night. A lot of Twins apartments have Twitter accounts to follow. What do you recommend?
That's right. I recommend following @Twins, which is our main account, @TwinsPrez. That's Twins President Dave St. Peter. @Twins_Morse Code, our baseball communications guy, kind of the inside baseball stat stuff. Our grounds crew has a great account, @TC Grounds Crew. Our music director even has one, @TwinsTunes. So we've got a whole variety of people throughout the organization tweeting, and also our community guy, @MNCommunityGuy.
And fans, we are playing your messages during the ball game tonight. Use the hashtag TFans, TFANS, and we will be playing them throughout the ball game tonight. And we're going to try to get Bert Blylev. If we can get him to turn the corner a little bit, Bert, we want you to maybe circle a tweet or circle the tweeters here on the deck here for Deck Extravaganza. What do you think, Bert? Can we talk you into it?
I'd love to try it, but on my phone, the A keeps moving all over the place. I have no idea where that A goes sometimes. I think it would take me probably about an hour to tweet somebody. Kevin Slowey comes back, gets Gardner out, and then picks up his first strikeout of Derek Jeter.
Twins will take it. That pitch looked like it was well outside, but it's out number 2 in the inning.
Well, Jeter goes back shaking his head, and see Mauer. That's what I said. You hit that spot sooner or later. That home plate umpire will give you. Yep. Slowey's all about control. Keep hitting his spots.
Here's Granderson, and he takes a strike.
Good pitch.
Granderson walked, stole second, was left there in the first. Big pop-up. Behind the mound. Luke Hughes squeezes it. And after the leadoff home run on the inning's first pitch, Slowey gets 3 quick outs.
Springfield fans, send your messages into the tweet using the hashtag TFans. We will be playing them during this half inning. Send your messages. If you're looking right now, you should be seeing them on your screen, and we'll be playing them throughout the night. Dick Raymer, Verbal 11, guys.
All right, thank you very much. Luke Hughes leading off the third. He'll be followed by Tsuyoshi Nishioka and Ben Revere. 1-1.
Luke Hughes just getting called up. He pinched hit in last night's ball game, struck out. But this is the fourth time that Luke Hughes has been with the Twins this season. 3 home runs.
And fans hear the term options. Does he have options left? It's just one option used this year, regardless of how many times Hughes is called up or sent down. 2-1. Foul back 2-2. Hughes has seen some time at first base, but he's been in the mix in the middle infield. Call third strike, says Jim Wolf. 1 away.
Yeah, it looks like Jim Wolf opening it up a little bit. Both starters trying to pinpoint that fastball down and away. So Hughes picks up his first strikeout of the ball game. Watch Martin, the catcher, almost like where Joe Mauer was sitting. Hughes knew it. He kind of walked around and started walking around the mound.
Here's Nishioka. Fouled away, 1 strike. Strike on the outside corner to the left-handed batter. 0-2.
Well, Nishioka, a couple hits in last night's ball game, an RBI single in his first at bat, and then added a single in the 7th inning.
Dribble to third. Chavez fires off balance, still makes the play. Nishioka retired. 2 down. You can ask a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. Mike Vacanti of Bloomington. How many home runs have been hit at Target Field by opponents compared to the number by Twins players? Well, the Twins have hit 35 so far this year. And the Yankees and all the other opponents have hit 62. With Martin's home run and Plouffe's home run hit earlier tonight.
Yeah, that was a nice play right there by Eric Chavez. But again, the Yankees, they have Gold Glove winners all over the place. Chavez, 6-time Rawling Gold Glove winner. Jeter's won them. Cano, Teixeira.
Revere takes up and in. It's 1-1. Some bugs bothering the Yankee infielders.
We shouldn't forget about the catcher either. Martin won a Gold Glove when he was with the Dodgers. Rawlings Gold Glove.
Bounce foul, 2-2. Revere trying to get aboard with 2 gone. Blocked by Martin. 3-2. I can't believe how shallow Granderson and, for that matter, Gardner are in left and center. My goodness. And Revere dumps one behind third. Chavez with a nice catch in fair territory to end the inning. 5 in a row set down by Bill Hughes.
Trevor Plouffe for the Lexi Casilla of the Minnesota Twins. We just want to give a thank you to our troops overseas. We respect what you guys are doing and hope you get home safe.
Gracias por sus servicios y esperamos que regresen a casa a salvo. Gracias.
Fox Sports North honors military members and their families with Operation Home Base, presented by Miller High Life. Give a veteran a piece of the High Life. Teixeira, the hitter, and he bounces it foul. Every Sunday during the Twin schedule from here on out, special Operation Home Base broadcast will be at the 135th ADT unit. You can show your support for the military by logging on to foxsportsnorth.com. Click the Joining Forces logo to send your message of thanks. Teixeira 1-2, leading off the Yankee fourth, and there's a pitch in the dirt, 2-2.
He laid off that curveball right there. Teixeira fly ball out to end the first inning to Sassoni out in left field. A little change up away by Slowey.
Foul tip to the backstop.
9 outs recorded by Kevin Slowey. 1 strikeout and 8 fly ball outs. There's yet to get a ground ball out.
And behind Mick Kelleher. Two and two to Teixeira. And wide of the plate to fill the count. 1 walk issued by Slowey. It came with 2 gone in the first inning. Pulled foul.
60 pitches, throwing strikes, 42 strikes.
Another 3-2. And a fly ball to center. 3 Twins converge and none catch the ball. Tassoni didn't get there, and Teixeira trots to second with a double. That ball was in the air a long time.
Well, you respect Teixeira's power, so you play back a little bit, and you wonder if this is a ball that Nishioka has to go back and try to get. Watch this play right here. You see where the outfielders are. Nishioka going back, and he's giving way to Tassoni, who maybe called him off. See, Revere, he can't catch up to it, and Tassoni comes up a bit short. So it'll be a double for Mark Teixeira.
Robinson Cano hit a liner, looked like it knuckled its way out to the glove of Ben Revere his first time up, and there's ball 1. So Slowey having to pitch around the pop fly double here in the 4th. One and one.
Somebody tweeting out there.
Watching the game out on the deck.
I don't think I've ever circled a tweeter before.
Breaking new ground perhaps here tonight.
Yep. There you go. I'm going to circle some of these tweeters right here. You are all here by circle. There you go.
1 and 1 to Cano. And now 1 and 2.
Have you ever tried tweeting, Dick?
I have not.
No, neither have I.
I'm going to make that one of my objectives during the off season. One and 2. And now 2 and 2. Breaking ball hammered to right center field. Hard against the fence. The Yankees take a 2-1 lead. Teixeira with a bloop double. And Cano smoking one off the scoreboard in right center.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking ball just kind of hung right there. And on a 2-2 pitch. A mistake by Slowey. Watch this pitch. It kind of just hung, and Cano is such a good hitter. With this ball line drive against the scoreboard. And Revere gets it back in. Cano picking up his 87th RBI.
So Cano's hit the ball on the button twice. Once to Revere, once to the gap. And now here's Nick Swisher. Line to single to left. His first time up. Strike on the inside corner. Fouled back, 2 strikes.
Such a good hitting ball club. Hitting .269 as a ball club. The New York Yankees tied 3rd in the American League in hitting with the Tigers. The Rangers, the Boston Red Sox 1 and 2.
There's a called 3rd strike. And Swisher's gone for the first out.
Second strikeout for Slowey, a big one there. Well, you look at these Yankees, 660 runs scored, most in the American League, most in home runs. Stolen bases tied with the Kansas City Royals, 2nd in triples. Tampa Bay Rays have 31 triples on the year.
Here's Chavez, hit a fly ball to center his first time up, and he's way out in front. 1 strike. You look at team batting average, and of course the Yankees have the advantage, but where they really separate themselves from most teams, and certainly the Twins, is their team slugging percentage. Yankees have a slugging percentage of .449, and the Twins slugging percentage is almost 100 points less, .361. That's a tremendous difference in extra base hitting. 2 strikes to Chavez. One and 2. Popped up down the left field line, and Tassoni crosses the line, makes the catch, and that's out number 2. You can cast your vote for the Arby's Value Player of the Game. Text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234234. Trevor Plouffe with a home run, and he's leading the early balloting.
Jim Thome has somebody sitting on the bench. Isn't that awesome? They all are. Well, here ball circled.
More circling of tweeters.
Yep.
Bauer to the mound to talk to Slowey.
You know, you're talking about the balance. 164 home runs now, and you look at what the Twins have been able to do. 79 home runs, 85 more home runs than the Twins.
It's a big part of the slugging percentage difference right there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Posada lined out to Plouffe in right field. Back in the 2nd inning. Out of center, and Revere retreats and ends the inning. A pop fly double backed up by a line drive double, and the Yankees take a 2-1 lead. Fox Sports North is brought to you by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. By AT&T. And by Miller High Life. Miller High Life is proud to sponsor Operation Home Base. Give a veteran a piece of the high life. Twins had a 1-0 lead. Now the Yankees lead 2-1. Trevor Plouffe responsible for the lone Twins run. He hit a home run in the first inning. He'll lead off the fourth. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Fastball just missing away, and then the slider by Phil Hughes. Hughes with 40 pitches, 28 strikes.
Outside. 2-1. Plouffe, Mauer, and Morneau to face Phil Hughes. Three and one.
Hughes making his 67th major league start. He has 34 wins, 22 losses. Spent some time in the bullpen. He has 3 career saves.
That's rolled to Cano. One down. AT&T trivia tonight. Derek Jeter in the background. Which player has the most career hits without winning a batting title? How many hits did Dave Winfield get?
He had over 3,000.
About Paul. Oh, I know that, but more than Jeter and Paul Molitor, I don't believe ever won a batting title.
How about Eddie Murray? I don't think he won a batting title.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just going to go with the guy who's sitting down in front of us, Mr. Molitor, because we can get a camera shot of him. Did Hank Aaron win a batting title? He got over 3,700 hits. Did he ever win a batting title? Did Pete Rose ever win a batting title? Mr. Molitor. I'll just go with Paul because he's here. Mauer lifts it foul, 1-2.
Oh, this guy's won 3 of them already. Joe Mauer. It's been a struggle this year for Joe. Spent a lot of time on a disabled list. Just have not seen him have that consistent swing that we have seen him over the years.
Fly ball to center. Granderson comes in. Jeter going out. And it's Granderson with the catch. It's almost the same fly ball that Teixeira hit to start the top of this inning. 2 down, and Morneau to the plate. You can take the Twins with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today and see every Twins game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit twinsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Market blackout rules apply. Here's Morneau. And there is strike 1. Morneau hit a little squibber between the mound and the third baseline, and Hughes picked it up and threw him out.
I got a call right here by Justin. I feel it. He's going to go long.
Not long enough.
Darn it.
And another 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes. He hasn't given up a hit except for Plouffe's home run in the first.
inning, and I am joined by the president of the Minnesota Twins, Dave St. Peter. Those of you in the Twitterverse may know him as @TwinsPrez, P-R-E-Z. Dave, you have a very active Twitter account, and you answer a lot of fans' questions on your Twitter account. Why are you so involved?
Well, I think Twitter is a great way to connect with fans. And, for us, it's been, I think, wonderful to have an opportunity to answer questions, provide information, and I think the response has been wonderful. We're looking forward to finding ways to build it as the season continues.
How about ways to involve fans at home that don't come to the ball game, can have their tweets shown like they are right now during the TV broadcast?
Yeah, I think we're one of the few teams in baseball that also posts those tweets in the ballpark every night. And, Twitter is something I never dreamed that I would be involved with. But it's been really, really great to have a chance just to connect with those fans and maybe give them a little bit of perspective that maybe they wouldn't have without that chance to interact.
And Dave, you've been around in this business a long time. Where do you see all this headed with the world of social media, Twitter, Facebook, and the like?
Well, I think there's a whole generation of fans that's just the norm. So I think we're literally scratching the surface. Technology is going to do more to impact the way fans take in all sports, including baseball, both at home or at the ballpark over the course of the next 10 to 20 years. It's going to be very, very exciting.
And fans, again, send your suggestions for the post-game instructional. It's #FSNPost. Send it using that hashtag #FSNPost for the ideas. For tonight's post-game instructional, you could decide what we do tonight in our Twins Live presented by CenturyLink post-game show. Dick and Bert.
Very good. Thank you. Leadoff single for Russell Martin. Here's Brett Gardner.
Valencia in on the grass, taking the possible bunt away.
Gardner bunts it up the line, and Mauer touches it in foul territory. One strike.
Gardner with 8 sacrifices on the year, the most of any Yankee.
Gardner 0 for 2, a pop up to third, a fly ball to center. In the air, but over the screen and back into the seats. 2 strikes.
Yeah, last couple times, Gardner trying to take the ball with him, pushing it toward first base. That one he just got underneath and popped it straight back.
Two strikes to Gardner. Grounder to second. Gardner runs awfully well, and Nishioka has no chance to double him up. A slow roller. Twins got the leadoff runner, and Gardner's inability to put down the bunt might be a big factor in the inning.
Good pitch right there, and kind of jammed Gardner.
Here are the tweets that are displayed here in the ballpark. And the Twins still do have the Twins-O-Gram, which they had in the old ballpark. And so you can tweet, and if your tweet is selected, it can be displayed here at the ballpark.
Yeah, that ground ball out right there, the first ground ball out recorded by Kevin Slowey. The force out at second base. Now the speedy Gardner at first base.
Derek Jeter with a pop-up and a strikeout. And there is strike one. Same pitch that struck him out in the third inning, and it's called a strike here in the fifth.
Gardner again at first base, 36 stolen bases. Only Coco Crisp has more in the American League.
Check swing and a foul, 2 strikes.
Good pitch inside after a couple pitches outside. Remember, he struck him out away and then got strike one away, went inside. Good pitch by Slowey right there.
And that's up the middle, and it bleeds through for a hit. Gardner flies to third base. And so Jeter on an 0-2 pitch didn't hit it hard, but he hit it right over the pitching rubber.
He just fought it off right there. The ball, like Ron Coomer talked about in the instructional, how he just keeps those hands back and then just pops it. Watch this pitch right here. Just got the barrel of the bat out quickly. And hit it right back up the middle.
Right off the trademark. So 2 on Yankees, first and third, 1 out, and Granderson at the plate.
Sometimes you make good pitches and hitters hit them good. It's a pretty good pitch right there by Slowey.
Fair ball right over the bag, and Morneau will protest to no avail. A run's going to score. Jeter to third, and Granderson goes to second base. And the Twins had issues with the umpiring last night. Morneau looking in the dugout, and now Ron Gardenhire is going to come out here, and he's going to ask Jim Wolf, hey, how about reviewing that one?
Well, Justin holding on the runner. Derek Jeter. Well, the pitch is down. Not a bad pitch. But Granderson hitting this ball. We'll get a better, great shot right here. Whether that ball goes over the bag or not.
It looked like it skipped off the bag, didn't it?
Yep.
It looked like it skipped right off the bag. So, another run for the Yankees. They have 3 hits this inning.
Granderson picking up his 96th RBI. And on his 20th double. What a season for Curtis Granderson. You see where he ranks. He scored 112 runs, most in the American League. RBIs just added to that total, now at 96. Home runs, triples.
Twins bring the infield in now. Teixeira at the plate, and he takes ball 1. No, I beg your pardon. Delayed strike call by Jim Wolf. 1 out. It's 3-1 New York. And 2 men in scoring position. Seven Yankee hits. The Twins have just the Plouffe home run. Strike 2.
When you're facing the Yankees, you want to stay away from the multi-run innings that you give up. Slowey gave up 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 so far here in the fifth. See if he can work out of this and won't let the Yankees score anymore. Last night's ball game, the Yankees scored 2 off of Dunsing in the second and then 3 in the fifth.
Two strikes to Teixeira. To the left. Jeter setting up for a tag. Tassoni sets up for a throw. Here's the throw to the plate. And Jeter is safe at the plate. On a very close play. No argument from Mauer. It looked like one leg was tagged while the other one slid across the plate.
Well, a good strong throw by Tassoni, but the throw a little bit on the foul territory side. So Joe had to kind of go and get that ball. Good strong throw, but see where it's at. And Jeter alertly sliding on the infield side, feet first. Look how quick he gets his foot down, right on the bag, slides across before Joe can apply the tag.
It's a really good slide. To the inside of the field. It's a 2-run inning so far. 4-1, 2 outs, and Cano at the plate. He's blistered the ball twice against Slowey. Once lining out to Revere in right center, and the other one a scalding line drive off the scoreboard in right center. Popped up behind third. Valencia with room. Ends the inning. 3 Yankee hits, 2 Yankee runs, and it's 4-1.
field, and Robbie Inspakowski's busy tweeting, so I thought I'd give away some lottery tickets in the Minnesota State Lottery Winner's Circle. Jill and Roger Springer from Osceola, Wisconsin, who are wishing happy birthday to Donnie, and as a birthday gift, you bought him tickets somewhere else in the ballpark?
Yes.
You might have let him sit by you as long as it's his birthday.
He didn't want to. He wanted to sit in his own seats down there.
How far a drive is it from Osceola to the ballpark?
About an hour.
The 1 hour drive, is that worthy of a circle, Bert?
Yes, it sure is. Tell them they're hereby circled, and happy birthday, Donnie. 232 more days until my big day.
Well, why is it a big day? I mean,
always a big day. Your birthday's a big day for you, isn't it?
I keep my birthday more of a private affair.
Well, it's only because it's during the, what is it, March 1st, I believe.
March 1st, yes.
Yeah.
But you have.
Mine's April 6th, so I want everybody to know. I'm proud of being a year older.
1-2 to Kubel, starting the Twins' 5th. But now the last one was a big one. That it ended in a 0, right?
They're all big ones. Oh, yeah, 6-0.
Yeah.
So was 10. So was 20, 30, 40, 50. I hope to see 70. The way it's going, I don't know.
1-2. Kubel checks his swing and bounces it back to the mound, 1 down.
Well, that's got to be more frustrating to a hitter than anything. You check your swing and then you do that.
Time now for our Farmers Insurance report card. Have your parents sign it and return it on Monday. Granderson with 96 runs batted in. Plouffe's got the only hit for the Twins. And Martin's answered with a home run for the Yankees. Here's Valencia, fly ball to right, his first time up. Up and away, ball 1. Little pop up. Martin with the catch out, number 2. Twins can't get anything going against Phil Hughes. He's retired everybody except Kubel, who he walked, and Plouffe homered. Here's our AT&T trivia. I'm just going to go with Paul Molitor again because he's in the house tonight.
And it is Paul Molitor.
Right.
That's a lot of hits right there. 3,319.
Sitting next to his brother David. Two outs. Here's Rene Tassoni. Hit the ball pretty hard. A sinking line drive picked off at shoe top level by Robinson Cano. And then he flipped to first to double off Kubel. 2-0.
Here's no walks in the ball game, just giving up that 1 hit with a strikeout. Excuse me, 1 walk in the ball game.
Little pop fly behind second. Cano with an easy catch. And another easy inning for Phil Hughes. A 1-2-3 fifth. weekend series with the Yankees. Yankees lead at 4-1. And Nick Swisher will lead off the 6th against Kevin Slowey. How would you grade Kevin Slowey's performance here tonight?
You know what, I think he's pitched very well. You know, this is a good hitting ball club, and you give up 1 inch and all of a sudden these guys put some runs on the board. He's given up 7 hits, but he hasn't really been banged around a lot. You know, the double by Teixeira kind of fell into no man's land. Now, you know, Cano hit that ball sharply for the RBI double in that 4th inning.
And then Granderson doubling off the first base bag.
Right.
7 hits for the Yankees, just 1 for the Twins.
Phil Hughes has retired 11 straight.
Detroit leading Cleveland 4-1, bottom of the 8th inning in Comerica Park.
Swarzak getting up. Good changeup right there. Slowey had 93 pitches, 69 have been strikes, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts.
Popped up and out of play. Red Sox have a 5-1 lead on the Royals. That game in the 5th inning in Kansas City.
Well, Slowey with 12 fly ball outs, only 1 ground ball out. Good pitch. Whoa.
Just missed the corner. Full count.
Oh, that's a good pitch right there. This late in the ball game right here, Slowey's been hitting his spots. He's got to get this call right here. That's a good pitch.
Phil Hughes got that.
Yes, he did.
Got that pitch and striking out Hughes. Luke Hughes, swing and a miss, gets the strikeout, 1 down.
And the 3rd strikeout for Slowey, getting Swisher for the 2nd time.
Back out to the social media deck and Robbie Ince-Mikowski.
And I've got Brandy here who traveled, I believe it's 6 hours from Bismarck. Is that right, Brandy?
That's correct. 6 hours from Bismarck, North Dakota.
6 hours from Bismarck. And you interacted with a few of these people once you figured out you were selected for Deck Extravaganza. What's it like interacting with them in person?
It's amazing meeting them in person because they all have such great things to say on Twitter. And now to meet them in person and get to know them a little bit, it's really fun. I've had a really enjoyable night.
And fans, again, send your hashtag. You see them right now. Use the hashtag TFANS, TFANS. And your messages can be seen right now live during the broadcast. Get them in there. Bert, you circled tweets and you circled people in Deck Extravaganza. You ever think you would see this day?
No, I think it's great. I can see, I didn't know that many people did it, you know, as far as the tweeting. So I've learned a lot tonight. And Slowey gets his 2nd straight strikeout, his 4th of the ball game.
You mean to tell me you did not know what a hashtag was until tonight?
I have no idea what Robbie just said, but
back-to-back strikeouts here in the 6th inning.
The hashtag is the pound sign. Did you know that?
I knew that.
Oh, you did?
I just didn't think you knew that.
I had no idea.
Until somebody
Trevor Fleck told me in my
somebody
ears.
told us both what it was.
I thought you knew what it was then.
Posada, the hitter.
So you lied. You didn't know.
I knew, actually. I found out this morning.
Right.
1 strike to Posada.
He's throwing strikes.
And a drive to left field, and Cassoni gets it on 1 hop. Posada's aboard with a 2-out single. And that'll bring up Russell Martin, who's hit a home run and a single against Slowey tonight.
Well, we showed you the win-loss record for Kevin Slowey. Very, very, very good. 39 wins, 21 losses. Again, making his 5th career start against the Yankees. He's 1-1 in the 4 previous starts.
1-0. 2-0. Slowly completing the third time through the Yankee batting order.
Yeah, Martin, 28 years old, his first year with the Yankees, signed as a free agent over the winter after spending time with the Dodgers.
Blasted.
His second home run in the ball game.
So with 2 outs after a pair of strikeouts, Posada lines a single, and Martin clubs his second home run of the ball game.
That's why this lineup 1 through 9 is so tough. Here you have a 2-time National League All-Star. Fastball in. Martin opens up. He got a breaking ball in his first at-bat. Hit that solo home run. Now he gets a fastball. Hits a 2-run home run. And the Yankees take a 6-1 lead.
Kevin Slowey will be taken out. 5 2/3 innings. 6 earned runs. The Yankees have a 6-1 lead with Anthony Swarzak pitching next for the Twins. North giving you a chance to win a trip for 2 to Fort Myers, Florida. Pick up an Arby's It's Good Mood Food code card every Friday at any participating Arby's. Go to foxsportsnorth.com, click on the Fan Zone tab, enter the code for the chance to win. Got to be a member of the Fan Zone, got to be 18 or older.
You know, this is the 5th time these two teams have met this year. Anthony Swarzak coming in. We'll show you his numbers, but the Yankees have out-homered the Twins 12-1. Trevor Plouffe's home run, the first home run hit against the Yankees this year. So this Yankee ball club, they can add some runs very quickly. 3 home runs in last night's ball game, 2 so far here tonight.
You know, just think about, and not to suggest for a moment that the Twins have played well otherwise, but how well do you have to play to overcome just that stat, being out-homered 12-1? 1-1. Gardner 0 for 3. A couple of pop-ups, and he reached on a fielder's choice on a little ground ball to Luke Hughes. Nishioka's going to have to hurry. Not in time. Brett Gardner might be the fastest runner in the American League.
Yeah, from home to first, he's quick. Peter Borges with the Angels, he's pretty quick out of that box too. But boy, hitters like that, when this is his first hit of this first couple ball games, 0 for 4 in last night's ball game. But I mean, my goodness, he gets on that line quick. They smell these hits right here. That's all he wants to do is hit it the other way and then utilize his speed.
So 3 straight 2-out hits here in the 6th, and then that'll bring up Jeter. Strike one. He's got the first run of the game. The Yankees tied it in the third, took the lead in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 so far here in the sixth.
Swarzak pretty quick home. He'll utilize that slide step against, again, Gardner at first base. 36 stolen bases in 47 attempts.
Line foul.
Watch out.
And that got a fan. Two strikes to Jeter. And now 1-2.
Good fastball middle in. Now go back in there again. Swarzak making his 19th appearance. He made 5 starts for the Twins. Very good. 3.12 earned run average.
And he lays off the breaking pitch. 2-2.
I just don't see pitchers repeating themselves a lot. The other thing I learned from sitting and talking to Don Drysdale at a very young age, you go in, especially guys like a Jeter that like to dive, you have to repeat. And when I'm talking about not going in to throw it his rib area, but just to go hard in to make him think that, hey, he's going to come back in again. You see right there, Jeter, you know, the first pitch in, and then that third pitch, and then the fourth pitch tried to chase that breaking ball down and away. And good pitch, see? Good pitch inside.
That ends the inning, but
Good
it's an
pitch.
inning that chased Kevin Slowey after he gave up a 2-run home run. It's 6-1.
Well, Kevin Slowey early on really hit his spots, did a good job of working the ball down right there to Jeter and also Granderson. But then right there to Martin in this first at bat, the solo home run that tied the game at 1 apiece. So Slowey had some good pitches, and then he had some not so good pitches that the Yankees didn't miss.
We're into the Coors Light 6th inning, but we are not, however, into the Coors Light.
Not yet.
Ball 1. Luke Hughes leads off the 6th for the Twins against Phil Hughes. A ball, now a strike.
Yeah, Phil Hughes has retired 11 straight Twins. Going back to the double play that Tassoni hit into in the 2nd inning.
Foul back. Just the home run by Plouffe in the 1st, and then Kubel leading off the 2nd. Walked on a close 3-2 pitch. That's how razor sharp Hughes has been here tonight.
I go back to Danny Valencia's fly ball in the 2nd
Right.
inning. Excuse me.
And up high, 2-2. Foul back. Well, the Yankees need all the good news they can get when it comes to their starting pitching. This is a rotation that from a distance sure looks awfully thin. They've got CC Sabathia. They're not sure what to get from one start to the next from A.J. Burnett. He's going to start tomorrow. The balance of the rotation, a rehabbing Phil Hughes, a reclaimed Freddie Garcia, and a reclaimed Bartolo Colon right now. And Garcia apparently is not going to be able to start on Sunday because he's got a cut on the index finger of his pitching hand.
And then they just signed Aaron Laffey. It's Aaron Laffey that's scheduled to start on Sunday against the Twins, who was with Cleveland and then now Seattle. Seattle let him go, and the Yankees picked him up. But remember, earlier in the year, they had Carlos Silva down in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
They ended up releasing him.
3-2 to Hughes, leading off the Twins 6th. High fastball got him, one away.
So Luke Hughes, or excuse me, Phil Hughes strikes out Luke Hughes for his 2nd strikeout. High fastball.
The CenturyLink high-speed pitch.
Kevin Slowey starting this ball game 5 2/3 innings, clocked as high as 90, and Phil Hughes had 93.
Nishioka grounded out to 3rd his first time up. He takes a strike. Detroit beat Cleveland at 4-1. The first of that series. So now the Tigers have a 2.5 game lead over the Indians. White Sox are tied at 4 in the 6th against the Rangers. Two strikes to Nishioka. One and two. So with Detroit winning and Chicago in a tie game right now with Texas, there are the standings in the Central. One and two. That's to center. And playing the right depth, Granderson with the catch, out number 2. Former Vikings Tavares Jackson, Sidney Rice, and offensive coordinator Darrell Bevel will face their old team Saturday night. You can log on to read how their former teammates feel about seeing them again. Check out that story and more at foxsportsnorth.com. 2 gone on the 6th, and here's Ben Revere. Revere with a bouncer to 2nd and a pop-up to 3rd.
Pitch count outstanding for Phil Hughes. 70. This will be 72 pitches.
So if I'm not misrepresenting what you've said, Hughes has been able to extend his control. He's been able to continue it through the middle innings where Slowey did not.
Well, he let some pitches up. Hughes has been making some good pitches, using that curveball, changing speeds. And there's a fastball.
Jeter guns it across to get Revere another 1, 2, 3 inning. The 5th inning in a row where Hughes has faced good 3 men.
Having a good time, and we're going to continue to have a good time on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, featuring the Toyota post-game wrap. Immediately following last pitch, we're going to discuss the Bronx Bombers and the home runs. Russell Martin has gone deep twice tonight. Guardy's reaction to Kevin Slowey's performance and that Yankee offense producing big for the second straight night. And then Kadire and Michael Kadire and Brian Dunsing live. Send in your questions right now. Use the hashtag hashtag FSN Post. That's pound FSN Post. Send in your questions. We're going to answer them following the ballgame on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Dick and Bert, too late in the ballgame for you guys to come out here and hang out with us, okay? Sorry.
Thank you, Robbie.
Pitch is inside to Curtis Granderson, leading off the 7th inning for New York against Anthony Swarzak. Swarzak left in the bullpen at the expense. Well, let me turn it around. Slowey given the spot in the starting rotation at the expense of Swarzak, who's left in the bullpen.
Only because Swarzak has accepted the role of what he's in right now. Spot starter, kind of a long guy out of that bullpen, where Kevin Slowey had a tough time with it. Ended up, going on a disabled list, went down to the minor leagues, rehab. When Baker went down, Scott Baker went down, it was Kevin Slowey that got the call up.
2-1. Pulled foul. Two and two. Granderson leading off the 7th. He'll be followed by Teixeira and Cano. Very high, 3-2. Liner ripped to center field, a leadoff single in the 7th.
Granderson gets his second hit of the ball game.
Can make your next event a truly memorable occasion. Business meetings, receptions, holiday parties, even a wedding ceremony at home plate. Target Field has 25 distinctive venues that provide a unique combination of stunning spaces, dramatic views, and extraordinary catering. For more information or to book your next event, go to Target Field Events at twinsbaseball.com or call 612-659-3870. Fly ball to center. Ben Revere's got it measured. One down.
You read that very nice to Peyton and Deanna.
Right.
Yep, very, very
well,
nice.
I read it nicely, I'd like to think, to all our viewers. They just happen to be in the booth with us.
There's Peyton and Deanna. Hi. You're going to be on TV.
Bismarck Mandan area. Long trek down here, but they're here to watch the Twins and Yankees.
So welcome to the booth. Now you're a movie star. You can go home and say, everybody, you're on TV. It's not that big a deal, believe me.
Fox Tracks brought to you by Carrier. 1-0 to Cano. Rangers have opened up a 7-4 lead over the White Sox. White Sox booked Philip Humber on the disabled list today after he took a line drive against the forehead last night. Line to left. Sony's going to try to make the catch, and does. Out number 2. And that'll bring up Nick Swisher. Swisher on the night, a single in the 2nd, and then a couple of strikeouts. One looking, one swinging.
Every Yankee starter at least one hit except for Eric Chavez. He's 0 for 3. Yankees with 11 hits in the ball game. Twins only 1.
Morneau catches a foul ball. If Swarzak can put a 0 up on the board here in the 7th, It'll be the first inning in 5 that the Yankees haven't scored.
Swarzak got that ball back. He looked at it and didn't like it and threw it back to the catcher.
Well, it might have been scuffed a little bit.
That ball might have had, a big cut mark in it or something.
Well, it should be taken out of the game then, for heaven's sake.
He should be throwing it again right now.
Well, that's the integrity of the game. If the ball isn't perfect, you ought to take it out of the game, so it's fair for everybody.
Taking all the fun out of the game. I bet you they go through maybe, 12 to 14 dozen balls in today's game.
Any pitch that hits the dirt is taken out of play at that time.
Right, just not fair.
It might be reintroduced later on. 2 strikes. Drive to left. Tassoni's got a retreat. And he makes the catch.
Nice catch.
Leadoff walk, or leadoff single rather. No damage done. And it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Medica. On Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Right now, you can get 20 crispy chicken McNuggets for just $4.99 at McDonald's. And by CenturyLink. Quest is becoming CenturyLink. Your link begins here. Find out more at CenturyLink.com/link. Twins need to get something done here against Phil Hughes. The only guy who's done anything against him, the only hit that Hughes is was allowed to Trevor Plouffe. His home run in the first inning gave the Twins a very brief 1-0 lead.
Yeah, after 1 out, Plouffe got a high fastball and hit it in that left field bleacher area, and Twins took a 1-0 lead. But it's been all Yankees and Phil Hughes ever since.
Plouffe, Mauer, and Morneau here in the 7th inning. The frustration against the Yankees is magnified in the playoffs. The Yankees have bounced the Twins out of the playoffs every year they face them. So you wonder, well, do the Yankees ever lose a playoff series? And of course they did last year to the Rangers, and the Rangers did to the Yankees what the Yankees have done to the Twins. They won the series 4-2. They outscored them 38-19, 2-for-1 in the 6-game series. Out-hit them 63-38. So it can be done. You just have to play the Yankee game and play it better than they do. And the Twins haven't been able to do that, obviously. Foul back.
Well, it's not only postseason. I think the most frustrating part is during the season. You see, since 2009, 3-20 against the Yankees. You'd like to have at least a positive if the Twins ever do face them again in postseason by beating them during the season.
Jack swing 3-2.
Phil Hughes, he's had 6 starts since his return from the disabled list, and he hasn't gone further than 6 innings.
And a leadoff walk. sending Plouffe to first base. First base runner the Twins have had since Kugel's leadoff walk in the second. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
That was Trevor Plouffe getting a high fastball in the first inning. Gave the Twins an early 1-0 lead. His 6th home run of the year.
Bauer with a couple of infield pop-ups.
Second walk in a ball game for Hughes.
Fastball and strike one. Popped up center field, and it's Granderson with the catch, 1 away. And before Morneau gets to the plate, here's the Pepsi Max in-game box score.
Yeah, not much there, just a solo home run by Trevor Plouffe.
Morneau with a little nubber in front of the plate. He was thrown out in the first, and he hit a fly ball to center. After you would call the home run, he hit a fly ball about 380 feet to center field. Strike one.
Good curveball right there.
It was a disappointing reversal of a home run call, yet maybe a significant positive step for Morneau, who pulled the ball, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball from a left-hander, and could not hit the ball any harder than he did. That it went just foul upon review was disappointing, but the fact is that's not, I don't think, the type of swing we would have seen him put on the ball before he had his neck taken care of. Hit to right, and it's hanging in the air for Swisher, and out number 2. Window Concepts, window of opportunity. Jason Kubel providing one of those 3 Twins wins over the Yankees with a dramatic grand slam against Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, 5 home runs against the Yankees, a .293 hitter, and a lot of the runs that he's driven in were big runs.
Strike on the outside corner. Kubel drew a leadoff walk in the second, and he hit a one-hopper on a check swing back to Hughes. In the dirt, Martin throws to first. Plouffe gets back. We had an awful lot of different catchers in your career. Who was the most active behind the plate in terms of throwing the bases?
Jim Sundberg was pretty good. I don't know. All the runners never stopped at first off me. They always went to second.
Well, we've seen Ivan Rodriguez pick off Twins runners at second base.
Manny Sanguillen was kind of that way. You know, he'd lead off, he'd throw the ball behind the runner.
Did Tony Pena caught you, didn't he?
Just in spring training.
Just in spring training.
You know who had a cannon when I was younger? When I first signed with the Twins, I played instructional ball with Rick Dempsey.
Oh, really?
Oh, he had a cannon. He maintained that good throwing arm throughout his career. Tony Pena, same thing.
Inside, I've always been surprised with Kubel taking a walk, and now Para walks, setting the Twins up here for, they hope, a big hit by Valencia. I've always been surprised that there aren't more throws to the bases, a quick trip to the mound by Russell Martin. I mean, you're talking about a throw to first, 90-foot throw. Shouldn't be that tough. And how many runs might that save just by keeping that runner a little bit closer? If a throw from the pitcher to first is intended to keep the runner closer, wouldn't a throw from the catcher serve the same purpose?
Well, a lot depends, you know, if there's say a left-handed batter up, you know, that guy's trying to throw around a batter. Ball gets away, all of a sudden that runner that's at first ends up at third. So it sometimes can be a dangerous throw.
1 strike to Valencia. An outfield fly to right in the second, and a pop-up to Martin in the fifth. Twins need a jolt here. They've seen an early 1-0 lead evaporate. Fouled back, 2 strikes.
Boy, good swing right there by Danny, and just got underneath it. Like to have that one back. Let's see, not a lot of pitches so far, 19 here in the 7th. That's how you go deep into the ball games, by quick innings, quick outs. Hughes has been able to do that.
And a bouncer to second. Cano runs to the bag. The Twins take a couple of walks, leave 2 runners aboard. It's still 6-1. Phil Hughes, who's been the Jimmy John's delivery of the game.
Well, Hughes, 7 innings, his longest outing so far this year. Only 1 hit allowed, and that was a home run by Trevor Plouffe, the second batter he faced in the ball game. Other than that, he's just shut the door.
And we go to the 8th inning to Sony, for the Yankees, and it will be Eric Chavez leading things off against Anthony Swarzak. 1 strike.
Swarzak relieved Kevin Slowey, the starter, in the 6th inning. Got the final out of Jeter. Gave up a hit in the 7th, but then got out of it.
1-1. Popped up left side, and Tassoni comes in. 1 down. And Casino's story of the game. Trevor Plouffe with some power, but the Yankees beat him up.
Yeah, Trevor Plouffe, the first home run the Twins will hit against the Yankees this year, gave the Twins a 1-0 lead. But you look so much in their lineup, the middle part of the lineup, all of a sudden it's that number 9 hitter, the catcher, Russell Martin, hitting 2 home runs, a solo in the 3rd and a 2-run home run in the 6th inning.
Here's Posada, single and a run scored. His single in the 6th came after Kevin Slowey had struck out Swisher and Chavez. And like the 2-out walk last night late in the game, you didn't think so much of it. And then by innings end, the Yankees get a couple of runs out of it. Martin followed with his 2nd home run, and what was a game that was within range at 4-1 had been pushed out to 6-1. 1-0. And that clips the corner.
Good off-speed pitch right there at 83 miles an hour.
One and two. The Rangers beat the Yankees in the playoffs last year. Looks like the Rangers are headed back there. They almost swept the Angels in Anaheim last night. Mark Trumbo hit the home run. Did you see the wide berth that they gave Trumbo when he came in with his walk-off home run last night?
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody within 5 feet of home plate.
Do not step on home plate. Don't get around them. Don't let them jump on top of home plate.
After what happened to Kendrys Morales last year. 1-2 to Posada. It was such a vital home run for the Angels. It kept them 6 games back instead of otherwise being 8 games back. That'd be almost as far back as the Twins are right now. 1-2. And a bouncer. Foul. So you look at the American League, and right now the American League Central is the best race going. I mentioned the Red Sox and Yankees have the race going for who's in first place, but it's a foregone conclusion they're both headed to the playoffs. And last year, the Yankees were the wild card team. Never forget that. The Twins actually had the home field advantage last year in the first round of the playoffs. 2-2.
2 teams in the National League I'm happy for. The Brewers off to they have a 6.5 game lead coming into today's play over the Cardinals, and the Diamondbacks, the job that Kirk Gibson's doing over there and his coaching staff.
Three and 2 now to Posada. Phillies with 80 wins, best record in baseball, but they were supposed to be that good.
Right.
And then you look at Milwaukee kind of pulling away from St. Louis. Cincinnati's had kind of the same type of season the Twins have had, with a lot of injuries, and they've never really been able to put anything together. Full count to Posada, and he walks him. Great place to gather your business, church, or family group right here at Target Field. And there are some dates in the final month of the season that might be the perfect fit for your group outing. Call 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com/groups to check out the options available to groups of 25 or more, and we'll see you here at the ballpark. 1 on, 1 out, and here's Martin, who already has 2 home runs. Taps it foul. Alex Rodriguez hit 3 in a game a little more than a year ago.
For Martin, that's his second 2-run home run game so far. The last time he did it, 2007 in LA against the Astros.
One and 1 on the check swing. And now 2 and 1. hits the corner and evens the count. Challenge for the Twins is to get back to where they have been more often than not in the last 10 years. Wrapping up August on the verge of heading for the playoffs again. And Swarzak might fit into the pitching plans next year. That's hit deep to the right field corner. And that ball is foul. You know a thing or two about pitching. Where do you think Swarzak would best fit as the Twins project him forward in 2012?
I think he's going to stay right where he's at right now because, you know, if Baker comes back, he's going to be put back in that rotation. You know, Swarzak needs to really work his tail end off during the winter, come to spring training, and you don't know what might happen for the Twins organization. He definitely has starter stuff. It's just sometimes guys in the bullpen have to wait, and Swarzak has waited. I think the starts that he's had, he's proven that he can start at the major league level.
He almost no-hit the Angels in his first start of the year. The Twins have Baker under contract for next year, Blackburn under contract for next year, Pavano. That leaves
well, you know, Dunsing's going to be in the rotation.
And Liriano, who right now has been going on a year-to-year basis. 2-2 to Martin. Swarzak in the game kind of stuck in the mud here in the top of the 8th. Check swing, 3-2.
Well, through all the losing the Twins have gone through, the starting staff for a little while in late May, early June, part of July pitched pretty good, but really after the All-Star break they have really struggled. Go back to, I believe it's July 27th. Liriano's the only starter to win a couple ball games. That's it.
Martin finally strikes out, 2 away.
And Swarzak picks up his first strikeout, goes to the breaking ball, and Martin looked like he was trying to hit his 3rd home run of the year. Strikes out for the 2nd out.
That'll bring up Gardner. And what happened to the starting rotation this year is just the opposite of what the Twins have normally had happen as they tried to play catch up with a team or two in the division. It's usually been the starting pitching. In 06, of course, it was Liriano. And then when he got hurt, Santana and Radke just kind of led the way for everybody else. And they never really in the second half of the year have had that one starter to lead the rest of the pitching staff.
Yeah, I mean, Pavano, his last 3 starts have been pretty good, but he's been inconsistent. They've all been inconsistent. Baker was about the only one that was, you know, getting on a good roll, and then that elbow flared up.
Here's a pop-up, and Valencia comes into the infield grass. And a scoreless inning for Swarzak, issuing just a 1-out walk. We head to the bottom of the 8th.
Any plans to tweet? Twitter?
No. I actually got a phone that won't tweet. I asked for that.
So if you have a question for Ron Gardenhire, you're out of luck. But
yeah, you know what? I don't even know if my phone does tweet. Your phone tweet?
Might find out later tonight. Michael Kadire, Brian Dunsing will take your questions if you tweet them to them at pound FSN Post. They'll join us live and answer a couple during the CenturyLink post-game show. Here's Rene Tassoni leading off the 8th inning. And strike one, strike two.
Well, don't you have to have friends to tweet?
Yeah.
What if you have no friends? Who do you tweet?
You can just follow other people's friends, I think, from what I understand.
Well, maybe I could make a friend then if I tweeted. Interesting.
2 strikes to Tassoni. He'll be followed by Hughes and Nishioka, fouled away. We need to get Gail back up here in a hurry.
She is up here.
Oh, is she here?
Yeah, all the wives are together tonight up in the suite.
I didn't know that she was amongst the wives. 1-2 to Tassoni.
The Twins were nice enough to have Heidi and my wife Gail and a lot of the executives and wives up there. Sure, they're enjoying the game.
Pulled to first. My goodness, Phil Hughes has been overwhelming the Twins hitters here. 3 walks, just 1 hit, 1 out in the 8th. Fox Sports North Outdoors is your home for the best outdoor programming Saturday and Sunday mornings. It starts at 6 in the morning tomorrow, 8 in the morning on Sunday. Fox Sports North Outdoors presented by Menards.
Yeah, the Twins have had only 2 base runners left on base, and those were both the walks last inning.
Right.
And that's been it.
Luke Hughes, since his call-up, has come to the plate 3 times and struck out 3 times. Called out on strikes in the 3rd, went down swinging, leading off the 6th. What Hughes has done here tonight has got to be a big shot in the arm for the Yankees. 100 pitches and now 101. When you look at the Yankees, who will be in the playoffs, and the other teams they might face, you have to objectively, I think, say they have more question marks in their starting rotation than the other 3 teams have combined. The Red Sox have a pretty stable rotation. CC Sabathia as good as they come. Colon, Reclamation Project, Garcia, Burnett, and a base hit for Hughes, just the 2nd Twins hit of the night. And it comes with 1 out in the 8th inning.
And the 41,328 fans enjoying that. Finally, another hit by the Twins.
A tough pitch down and away.
Breaking ball down, and Hughes hitting it sharply in that hole in the left field.
Larry Rothschild to the mound. Don't anticipate a pitching change here.
Hey, gave up a hit. Larry Rothschild saying, hey, what's going on? You okay? I think just making sure because of the pitch count right now in 103 pitches. Again, Hughes making his 7th start since coming off the disabled list. He was put on a disabled list in the middle of April. It was not activated until July 6th. His longest outing so far on the year is here tonight.
Boone Logan, lone lefty in the Yankee bullpen, is warming up. Here's Tsuyoshi Nishioka. Bouncer to 3rd and a liner to shallow center field, but that's where the Yankees are playing him, and Granderson was able to make a catch. 1-1.
105 pitches, the season high for Hughes for pitches in a ball game. He had 101 pitches back on July 27th against the Mariners. He worked 6 innings in that ball.
Line to left. Gardner with a nice diving catch for out number 2. And again, the shallow depth of the New York outfield has taken a hit away from Nishioka.
So many scouting reports, even though Nishioka, and here comes Joe Girardi to make a pitching change, but you know, Nishioka hasn't really shown any power, so they play him shallow, and Gardner making a nice diving catch.
And Phil Hughes has pitched wonderfully here tonight for the New York Yankees, giving up just a home run in the first and now a 1-out hit here in the 8th. And he'll give way to Boone Logan with 2 gone in the 8th.
Here to even his record at 4-4. Boone Logan coming out of the bullpen. Right now the only left-hander out in that bullpen, making his 46th relief appearance. Logan in his 2nd season with the Yankees. He pitched for the White Sox, the Braves. Good fastball, hard slider, and a changeup.
And Ben Revere will try to put together a 2-out rally here with a runner at first and 2 out. Revere has not gotten the ball out of the infield, but a lot of Twins hitters didn't have much luck against Phil Hughes. Revere with a bouncer to second, a pop up to third, and a bouncer to short.
Well, one thing about the starting staff, if they can get into the 6th and 7th inning, they turn it over to Yankees due to a very good bullpen. Combined ERA of 3.01, the best in the American League.
And there's ball 1. Red Sox leading the Royals 7-1 in the 8th. Just a half game separating the first place Yankees and the 2nd place Red Sox. Check swing, and it's 2-0. Runs it halfway there and ends the inning. Hughes left the board. On to the 9th inning. The Yankees up 6-1. Beautiful night, but an ugly score. It's 6-1 New York.
Well, you know, this game started with the Twins organization honoring Joe Nathan for his 255th Major League save record, an all-time Twins record. A nice message from Rick Aguilera congratulating Joe Nathan and his wife Lisa, kind of a surprise guest. She wasn't supposed to come into town, and she came into town and surprised him out on the field, which kind of shocked Joe right there.
Very nice. Twins are hoping to get Nathan into the ball game in a save situation here in the ninth, but as it is, the Twins are down 5, and Anthony Swarzak will pitch to Derek Jeter. Fouled straight back, 1 strike.
See, what Swarzak's doing right now will save the bullpen for tomorrow. So, you know, I mean, he's got, you know, this is what Swarzak's job is right now. Slowly work the first 5 2/3 innings. Now, hopefully, Anthony Swarzak can finish the ball game. And then, you know, give those guys out there, hopefully tomorrow's a closer ball game and they may be needed. Last night, the Twins used Maharis, Burnett, Perkins, and Capps.
One and one to Jeter. Granderson and Teixeira to foul. Just off the plate, 2-1. Chopper. Valencia will have to hurry. And Orno can't hold on to the low throw. They'll give Jeter, I'm sure, an infield hit. Earlier today, Curtis Granderson, who's one of the most generous of his time for charitable causes and just being out in public and being visible, spoke at the Northwoods League Clinic. He's an alum of the Northwoods League.
Right, up in Duluth.
And every team has a player or players that they wish they had not traded, but my goodness, the Tigers just lost a great player. He wasn't this great a player for them in Detroit, but still, just a great ambassador for the game.
Yeah, he really is. Just a well-spoken young man that represents baseball the right way.
He had just been traded over to the Yankees. I saw him in spring training, and this was right after the next spring after game 163, which was just a heartbreaking experience for all the Tigers. And he was very friendly and kept talking about the game and how wonderful the game was, even as a member of the team that lost game 163. Two and one. And now 3-1.
Swarzak 1 walk so far. He's given up just the 2 hits with a strikeout in relief of Slowey.
And now Granderson walks, and Swarzak's working himself into a mess here. Just a little nubber for a hit by Jeter, but now seems like over the years, as the Yankees have dominated the Twins, every time the Twins walk a Yankee batter, it comes back to haunt them. Rick Anderson will come to the mound.
Looks like Phil DeMatre just got up out in that bullpen, so Andy coming out just to give DeMatre some more throws out there if needed.
So Teixeira, who has a sacrifice fly and a double.
DeMatre warming up.
Swarzak and the Twins need some outs. It's going to be hammered into the right field corner. Jeter around third. He'll score. Granderson right on his heels. They're going to send him. And it's a 2-run double for Teixeira, and he's driven in 3 tonight.
Oh, just like that, Rick Anderson going out to talk to Swarzak. The next pitch, Mark Teixeira hits his second double of the ball game, his 21st of the year. The Yankees open it up with an 8-1 lead.
So Swarzak, who put up a couple of zeros, and they've been in short supply tonight, now finds a 2 spot up there in the 9th inning. Still nobody out, and here's Cano. Ball 1. Cano with an RBI double and 2 lineouts. He lined out to Revere in his first at bat, lined out to Tassoni in his most recent at bat. Bouncer right side. Morneau has it over to Swarzak for the out, and Teixeira up a base to third. So Cano retired, and that'll bring up Swisher. One for 4.
See how the defense plays. Middle of the infield playing about halfway.
Eight runs again for the Yankees. And the Twins aren't going to beat many teams. Yankees, anybody, giving up 8 runs a game. Infield's in. And the pitch popped up. Nishioka out, and Tassoni comes in, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up Eric Chavez. In the 9th inning in Chicago, and the Rangers have a 7-4 lead over the White Sox. We're going to have a pitching change here, it looks like, with left-hand hitting Chavez due up, and Phil DeMatre warmed up. 2 more for the Yankees so far in the 9th. Goes through New York, you can understand why the Twins are frustrated, because they haven't been able to do much against the Yankees since 2009.
Yeah, that includes postseason. So the Twins just 3-20 against the Yankees since 2009 under manager Ron Gardenhire, and it's got to be frustrating to him too and his coaching staff and all the players.
into more frustration tonight. The Twins down 8-1. They were beaten 8-4 last night. But as you said, really coming out of the break, the Twins pitching has not been very good. And if you aren't pitching really well against this Yankee lineup, you're going to give up a lot of 8s. Dematre will face Chavez here in the 9th inning.
Well, the numbers on Dematre, making his 34th relief appearance. 29 innings pitched, 15 walks, 3 intentional with 16 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .255 off of him.
Strike one.
The Yankees 15 hits in last night's ball games, 13 so far here in tonight's ball game.
Strike two. And farther outside, 1-2. Francisco Liriano going against A.J. Burnett tomorrow. And as you said, in terms of starters getting wins, it's been Liriano and Liriano alone.
Yeah, he has the last two victories as a starter.
Chavez strikes out. Dematre cleans up the 9th, but the Yankees add 2 more. Hughes had the Twins eating out of his hand for the better part of the night tonight.
That's exactly what the Twins need. A start like Phil Hughes had to here tonight. 7 2/3 innings, only 2 hits allowed, with a couple walks, a couple strikeouts. He threw 106 pitches. And the only run allowed, the home run to Trevor Plouffe in the first inning.
Game reset. Twins got the first run. Yankees got the next 8.
Yeah, Russell Martin with 2 home runs in a ball game. Second time in his career he's had a 2 home run game. A solo home run, a 2-run home run, and Trevor Plouffe the only really offense for the Twins.
And Plouffe will hit against former Twin very briefly. The Twin, Luis Ayala.
Yeah, he's having a good year out of the bullpen. He spent about a month on a disabled list with some right shoulder soreness, making his 36th appearance. 13 walks, 3 intentional.
And Plouffe will lead off in the 9th against Ayala. Nunez is entered short. And Plouffe, who has a home run and a walk. And I guess as if you're looking for an offensive star for the Twins, it would be him. Strike at the knees.
Ayala pitched for the Expos, the Mets, then the Twins. Twins actually released him in 2009. Then he signed with the Marlins in his first season with the Yankees.
1-1. Ayala was frustrated with his bullpen role with the Twins. We talked earlier about Kevin Slowey, and he didn't react well to being relegated to bullpen duty. Ayala didn't particularly want to be in the role he was in. Soft liner picked off on the fly by Chavez, and Ayala said something to the effect that the role he was in would not bode well for him as he tried to find a job next year. Well, this was in May. And those guys didn't react real well to that. And Ayala wasn't pitching particularly well anyway, so they released him. One down. Here is Mauer. And down and in, ball one. Mauer's hit the ball in the air 3 times, once to second, once to short center field. Two-0.
Ayala has that kind of short arm type of delivery. You know, he's not a long arm type pitcher. He'll come set and then kind of short arm at home. He's got good sinking fastball when he's on.
You look at their bullpen. Ayala now over 39 innings pitched, 1 home run allowed. Then you go down to Boone Logan, over 30 innings pitched, 3 home runs allowed. Rivera, 47 innings, 3 home runs allowed. There's a drive to left center that's hit pretty well. Granderson chasing it down. Nice play by Curtis Granderson in the gap in left center.
You know, in yesterday's ball game, the Twins honored Jim Thome for hitting his 600th home run, and tonight it was Joe Nathan's turn for being the all-time close leader. His wife Lisa surprised him. A very nice plaque right there for Joe Nathan, presented by the Twins, and the teammates came out with a jersey at 255. Also gave him a pitching rubber.
But a lot of people saw that and wondered what that was, but that's what a pitching rubber looks like before it's embedded into the pitching mound. Anyway, we were talking about the Yankee bullpen. David Robertson now 49 in 2/3 innings. He's not given up a home run. So the Yankee approach with their relievers is, look, if we keep the ball in the ballpark, and in their home ballpark, that's not an easy thing to do.
It's not.
Well, our bullpen's going to be pretty good. Awful lot of relief innings and just a handful of home runs allowed. 2 strikes to Morneau. Checked his swing, 1-2. Two and 2. Third strike ends the game. And for yet another night, the Yankee dominance over the Twins continues. Anthony LaPanta, Twins got the first run back in the first inning, but the lead did not last very long.
Did not last long, and it got away in a hurry. Yankees 8, Twins 1. We'll show you how New York continues their dominance. We'll hear from Ron Gardenhire in our instructional. We'll take you into the outfield, show you how to go back on the ball next on Twins.